Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about astrology and sadly a shooting that took place in Dallas, Texas, that resulted in the death of two women, and took place on October 23rd, 2022. And in Dallas, Texas, it was at a hospital, and there was a shooting there. Again, resulted in the death of two women. Um, Now, there was on this date, on October 23rd, 2022, a man named Nestor Hernandez. He shot and killed two employees in a Dallas, Texas hospital. I want to be kind and rewind. My prayers and condolences go out to the close friends and family of these victims. And what happened was the shooting occurred shortly after Nestor Hernandez. He had accused his wife of infidelity. I believe she had just had a baby there at the hospital. And I don't know if it was because the baby he felt it didn't look like him or I don't know why he made the accusation, but apparently he had accused his wife of this, and um, he became, very irate and infuriated, and he stated something about that he was going to shoot whoever came in, to that room. Uh, and what happened was he started, I believe he pistol whipped. I know he had hit his wife. I don't know if it's his girl. I believe I said wife. You may want to confer that on the internet. It may be a girlfriend, and I'm sorry, I don't really recall. I don't know 100%. I'm thinking it's actually his girlfriend, but you may want to confer that on the internet. But anyway, and he accused what I believe was his girlfriend of infidelity, and he started hitting her. I believe started pistol whipping her, and one of the employees in the hospital came in to inquire what was going on. Why was I guess she's yelling, and and what happened was she winds up getting shot and killed, and then as a result of the gunfire, somebody else comes into the room, and she winds up being shot and killed. As a result, the police wound up apprehending him, I would say, relatively shortly after this happened. There was a standoff for a little bit, I believe, and then it wound up. They wound up getting apprehending Nestor Hernandez, and Nestor Hernandez was on parole, and he was wearing an ankle bracelet at the time of the shooting. And there was somebody had stated on one of the reports online, about they need to be maybe more stringent or something regarding these criminals that they let out um, on parole, and that may be true considering this volatile behavior. And for this person to have this reaction, I can, it's speculation. I wouldn't be surprised if Nestor Hernandez had been under, some kind of influence or something. But that's something that I don't know if it's already on the internet or may come out at some point. But I'm just, to me, it just doesn't seem like that's right. The normal behavior of a person, even if you feel very suspicious, of your significant other, of cheating on you. Uh, the thing is, now I'm going to talk about the chart, the astrology and the shooting. Now the thing is, I looked at the event. Okay, this took place again on October 23rd, 2022 in Dallas, Texas at approximately 11 a.m. This puts Sagittarius on the first house cusp, which is basically the face of the event. So this could indicate a lot of self-righteous, reckless, and foolhardy energy. And there is a balance of planets on the top and bottom half of the chart. Now, that could indicate, a balance of, being, subjective and objective at this time. Naturally you had certain emotions going on due to the nature of the event, but you had enough objective energy, which would be found more in the police officers to do what needed to be done, act with diligence, and really take really take action and do it very expedite, do it very efficiently and relatively quickly, and doing it correctly. Now, another thing is there's a preponderance of planets fell on the left side of this event chart. Now, this could suggest doing things with little cajoling or coaxing. When the majority of the planets fall on the left side of a chart, it indicates more independence and self-reliance in contrast to dependence. So people basically in this event are doing what they're what they want to do, and not really needing again that cajoling or coaxing from someone else, and are basically going to do what they please. And that's pretty much how it went down in this event, sadly. And again, and this could also, there's also there were 4 planets in Chiron in cardinal signs, so that's a pretty good amount of energy in cardinal signs. Now, this suggests a hurry to initiate things with little hesitation or procrastination. And most of these planets in this event chart fall in the 4th quadrant of the chart. The 4th quadrant consists of houses 10, 11, and 12. Now, this can emphasize and accentuate much humanity and group-related efforts, and naturally efforts by the police officers to apprehend the suspect was something that was done collectively, and would benefit the hospital. And now Jupiter in Aries in the chart is a singleton planet. It's the only Jupiter in Aries, by itself can manifest in the enlargement and enthusiasm associated with actions that are violent and volatile, and it can enlarge an acrimonious energy. Now, Aries is also, it's associated with gunfire, and the fact this is a singleton can make it more prominent and pronounced. It's also the chart ruler. It's the ruler, Sagittarius is on the 1st house cusp. Jupiter is the ruler, in this case Jupiter in Aries. And it's also at a critical degree 0, which can make it even more prominent and pronounced. And the thing is, it falls in the 4th house of the end of life and emotional security. So that's what this really strongly impacted. Now, the Sun in Scorpio is at 0 degrees, and it made a conjunction to Venus in Scorpio at 0 degrees. Now, the Sun in Scorpio negatively manifested. That could indicate a focus. If the Sun is about focus, it could be on obliteration, destruction, and death. Now, the conjunction to Venus sadly may give more value and enjoyment of this. Naturally, Venus is about sentiments, and I'm sure this guy had a lot of feelings of jealousy, and feeling very revengeful, and wanting to exact vengeance in his own way by pistol whipping his wife or his girlfriend, whoever this may have been. And that's really and even though this is just based on what he believed, and I don't know if this is actually the truth, if she did actually cheat on, but that is what he had apparently accused her of. But the thing about this too is the fact that this is at 0 degrees, this conjunction, the Sun and Venus in Scorpio both at 0 degrees, that's that degree being at 0 can suggest this may have been done very quickly without wasting time, and it reinforces and reaffirms what I stated before about this event, this shooting, and him reacting, in an angry manner, doing this, again with little, pause, hesitation, or procrastination. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now the thing about this too is now Mercury in Libra in this event chart now made a loose inconjunct aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Now inconjuncts in astrology can often be about adjustments, and there may be too much or too little of something. In this case, there may have been too much or too little compassion, which is Neptune, in one's thinking, which is Mercury. Now, the shooter again had accused his pregnant wife of infidelity. Now, the inconjunct may have manifested in not being in Mercury and Libra, not being fair-minded and balanced enough in thinking regarding matters of possible deception, which is Neptune. Now, another aspect I thought was notable in this event was that Mars in Gemini made a square to Neptune in Pisces. Now, the aspect by itself could indicate anger that's very, confounding and senseless. And you have, Mars in Gemini is, it's like anger going in. It could be going in manifold, different directions. I mean, this person, it winds up shooting two people that had, it's basically because he's angry. It seems like because he's angry at his significant other because he suspects she cheated on him. And this thing, another thing I want to get at now, the ruler of the 8th house of death, which is the moon in Libra, falls in the 10th house. Now, this is an indicator of murder, because 8th house is connected with death and murder, and this the two homicides gaining notoriety and recognition, with that ruler being in the 10th house of notoriety and recognition. And what's interesting is that you have Scorpio being on the cusp of the 12th house, because Scorpio is associated with murder and death, and the 12th house is associated with hospitals. Pisces is on the 4th house cusp of the end of life, and Pisces is chaotic. So, sadly, we've had, this, the end of life of two people, and with a lot of madness and mayhem happening during this time. And it's also took place at a hospital, and Pisces is connected with hospitals. And the thing too is the 4th house also rules emotions. So this is an understanding why the emotions were chaotic, I'm sure, during this event. And the thing is, madness and mayhem certainly affected emotional security at the time of this event. I'm just going to try to look, and speaking of balance, I got to try to keep this thing, my laptop, balanced here, people. Just bear with me. And, one of the rulers, of the 4th house, Jupiter, falls in the 4th house. And when the shots were fired, many people may have been looking for family members, sadly, for safety and security. So, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.